Hello, welcome back to my channel where today I'm going to be doing or attempting to predict match week 6 of the 2019-2020 SPFL Premiership season. Now let's have a look at how I did last week. So obviously I put Celtic to beat Hamilton 4-0, it was 1-0 to Celtic. Aberdeen to Johnstone, I went for a 2-1 win to Aberdeen, it was 1-1. Hearts Motherwell went for a 2-1 win to Motherwell, it was 3-2 to Motherwell. Kilmarnock against Hibs, I went for a 1-1 draw, it was 2-0 to Kilmarnock. Rangers Livingston, I went for a 2-0 win to Rangers, and it was 3-1. For Ross County St Mirren, I went for a 2-1 win to Ross County, and it was 2-1 to Ross County. So, yeah, I mean, 3 outcomes and a couple of wrong there, so hopefully I can do better this week. And some big games this week, including that most important Edinburgh Derby, but that will be coming right up at the end. So yeah, some good games coming up. Obviously, we've got Livingston against Aberdeen, Motherwell Ross County, St Mirren against Hamilton. That's another interesting game, that one. And then obviously we've got 3 games on Sunday: Rangers at St Johnstone, Celtic against Kilmarnock, and Hibs against Hearts, like I've said. So Livingston against Aberdeen. Now the last 5 between these two have resulted in 3 draws and 2 wins to Aberdeen, and the last meeting was a 2-1 win to Aberdeen. They've got a recent good record against Livingston, actually. So yeah, Livingston need to definitely improve their record. What can I say about Livingston's performance against Rangers at Ibrox? One of disappointment, obviously going ahead in that game. It was disappointing to lose, but you can take pride from the fact that they gave Rangers a game. They really did. They played very well against Rangers, and obviously, taking the lead at Ibrox is no mean feat. Thought Lyndon Dykes was absolutely superb, obviously, up until his red card. I thought Guthrie at the back was very good as well. Yeah, to lose 3-1 in the end is disappointing, but it was a good workout for Livingston, and they did give Rangers a game, so it has to be said for that one. Obviously coming back in front of their home fans at the weekends, should be a good one. It should be a really good one. Aberdeen. Where do we start from Aberdeen? I mean, it's just they blow hot and cold. 1 week they're good, 1 week they're mediocre, and then 1 week they don't turn up at all. Against St Johnstone, they took the lead, but then allowed St Johnstone to come back into it with a rare mistake from Joe Lewis. He lets the ball squirm under his body, and to be quite honest with you, St Johnstone played very well and were possibly unlucky not to take more than a point. So this is the problem with Aberdeen. They do blow hot and cold, and as far as this game goes, I'm actually thinking of an upset here. I do actually think, with Aberdeen's recent struggles, away from home especially, they drew with Kilmarnock and they lost to St Mirren. Now, those are 2 games that they would have expected to probably picked up points. Obviously, they picked up a point against Kilmarnock, but they're going to Livingston, who got a really good home record, it has to be said. I'm actually going to go for a home win, and I don't think many people will be expecting this. I know Livingston have got a really poor record against Aberdeen, but Aberdeen do blow hot and cold, and Livingston will be buoyed on by the fact that they played really well against Rangers, and I think if they were to take that into this game, I think they could potentially win this, and I'm going to go for a shock win for the Livy Lions, which would be very good for me. I'm going for a 2-1 win to Livingston. I just think that Livingston will be, like I said, will be buoyed by the fact that they did take the lead against Rangers. Obviously, they did lose, but they can, like I said, they take that performance from the Rangers game into this game, then they could shock Aberdeen. And for me, I reckon that Livingston will get the win, so I'm going for a 2-1 win to Livingston. Motherwell against Ross County. Now, the last 5 between these two have resulted in 3 wins to Motherwell, 1 draw, and 1 win to Ross County. And the last game was a 2-0 win to Motherwell. This was in 2018. Motherwell, very good away performance against Hearts. Yeah, I mean, we saw what Declan Gallagher can give you. He was immense all game. Great header to take the lead as well. And in fact, I know Hearts were, coming back into it, but Motherwell did really well against Hearts. It was a very good away win as well. And they're on absolute fire, aren't they? Obviously, back-to-back wins against the Edinburgh clubs, that doesn't always happen. So they'll be very, very pleased with that one. Seedorf obviously gets a fantastic goal, and then obviously Hilton scores as well. And they look really dangerous. And like I said, I did fancy them for the top 6. Maybe they might be aiming higher. But like I said, it is still pretty early on, but they have been very, very good lately, Motherwell. And it'll be interesting to see if they can take that in to obviously maybe make the top 6. Still early on, but they have been playing really, really well. Ross County obviously coming off the back of a 2-1 win over St Mirren. Left it late, but late wins are what you want, and it's a very good win, considering that Ross County were on a bit of a bad run, but they've obviously got that win under their belt. But for this game, I just think with Motherwell's home form and the fact that they've been playing really, really well, and the fact that they've had back-to-back wins against the Edinburgh clubs, I can only really see a Motherwell win. I think it'll be a very, very good game. Two sides both wanting to obviously attack each other, and I think there will be goals. Don't see Motherwell keeping a clean sheet. They've only, obviously they kept a clean sheet against Hibs. They've only kept 2 clean sheets all season, so I can see Ross County grabbing a goal, but I think Motherwell will be way too strong for them. I'm going for a 3-1 win to Motherwell. Now, this is a big game. Already at this point of the season, this is a huge game. St Mirren against Hamilton. Now, the last 5 between these two have resulted in 1 win to St Mirren, 1 draw, and 3 wins to Hamilton. And the last one was a 2-0 win to St Mirren. St Mirren losing very late on against Ross County in a game where they should probably have took something, in all honesty. They were unlucky to lose, but you can't be conceding late goals. And I think the fact that they did concede late on was a testimony how well Ross County played. I do think though, I do think St Mirren, coming off the back of that defeat, they'll be determined to get that win again. But obviously the last time they did play at home, they did beat Aberdeen. So obviously the last time they did come up in front of their home fans, they did win 1-0 against Aberdeen. So that will be very, very interesting to see. Hamilton obviously losing 1-0 to Celtic, but only losing 1-0. So, they're not conceding many, they're not scoring many either. So, as far as this game goes, I think it'll be very tight. I think these two will definitely be there or thereabouts by the end of the season. It's definitely a 6-pointer already. I hate saying that word, but it is a 6-pointer. It's a 6-pointer so far for this game. Just because of home advantage, I think, because of Hamilton's recent sort of struggles away from home. Obviously, the last time Hamilton were away from home, they drew 2-2 at Hearts. So, be interesting to see. But for me, I'm going for a 1-0 win to St Mirren. I do think it will be very, very close indeed. So now that's the 3 games on Saturday. We've now got 3 games on Sunday, and the first one of these is St Johnstone against Rangers. Now the last 5 between these two St Johnstone have won 1, there's been a draw, and Rangers won 3. And the last game was a 2-1 win to Rangers, where I believe was it Morelos that scored the winner that day. I think it was. St Johnstone, very good away point at Aberdeen. It was a very, very good away point, considering that they obviously were behind in that game. So it's wins that St Johnstone need now. It's that's something they are missing, is a win. Obviously they are 11th at the moment, but this might be a bit of a bridge too far for them. This game. But it is the early kick-off on the Sunday, so be very, very interesting to see. Obviously, Rangers, as I'm recording this now, are playing Feyenoord. So it'll be interesting to see how they do against Feyenoord. I just think though that St Johnstone, like I said, they do need an elusive win, and for me, it's coming down to they've obviously got Stevie May now. They've got that striker that they've been needing for ages. So going to be a very, very good game, this one. Rangers, like I've said, they are playing Feyenoord at this moment in time, so it'll be interesting to see what kind of result they get. But obviously beating Livingston 3-1 last time out, obviously coming from behind as well in that one, led to Hibernian scored in the equaliser. Long free kick that basically eludes everybody, goes into the back of the net, and then Morelos scores again, and then is it Ojo? I think it is Ojo. Oh no, it's not. It's Brandon Barker. Sorry, Brandon Barker scored in his debut for Rangers. Obviously, they will be without Ryan Kent as well. So, yeah, it'd be interesting. And obviously, Morelos does start tonight. So does that mean Defoe starts in the league game? It'd be interesting to see that one as well. Because Steven Gerrard does seem to like to rotate his strikers. So that's another thing to say. As far as this game goes, I can only really see Rangers winning this one. I do think that win is going to come for St Johnstone sooner rather than later, but it won't be this week, I'm afraid to say. I'm going for a 3-1 win to Rangers. Celtic against Kilmarnock. Now, the last 5 between these two, Celtic have won 3, there's 1 draw and a win to Kilmarnock. And the last game was a narrow 1-0 win to Celtic. This was in the split fixtures. Celtic, what can I say? Obviously 1-0 win over Hamilton. Yeah, they scored early on, and then they did have a few chances after that, but it wasn't a great game of football, has to be said. But obviously they did draw with Rennes, which is a very, very good result, considering that Rennes, like I said, they were really high flying in Ligue 1. And it's a good result away from home. It's a good result, and it's a very, very good result. So yeah, they'll be coming off the back of that. Ryan Christie has obviously scored for Celtic tonight. He's on fire, isn't he? Him, Forrest, Elyounoussi is looking good as well. They're looking a good team, Celtic. They really are. They're coming up against Kilmarnock side, who obviously come off the back of a 2-0 win over Hibernian, which is a very good result as well. It'll be interesting to see if they can go to Celtic Park and get a result. Not many teams have beaten Celtic, so it'll be interesting. But obviously Kilmarnock, they did beat Celtic last season, but obviously that was at Rugby Park. So it'll be interesting to see if they can pick up something. Do I think they will? No. Unfortunately, I don't. I think Celtic will be too strong for Kilmarnock. But Kilmarnock have started to pick up results, which is good to see. And it's good for Angelo Alessio to get some results as well. So for me, I'm going for a 2-0 win to Celtic. Now, this is probably the biggest Edinburgh Derby in recent years. And I'm not saying because it's for points, positioning, or etc., but it's for the two managers, as far as I'm concerned. So, Hibs against Hearts. The first Edinburgh Derby of the season, and the first important derby for many a year. So the last 5 between these two have resulted in 1 win to Hibs, 2 draws, and 2 wins to Hearts. And the last one was a 1-1 draw at Easter Road. Hibs. What has happened to Hibs? Has to be said that the signings that Heckingbottom has made have not worked. They've just been looking really poor recently. Hibs. I mean, obviously away from home, they've had a really bad run. They've conceded 11 goals in the last 3 games. Something is clearly not right with Hibs, and they haven't won since the first day of the season, which was obviously a 1-0 win against St Mirren. So you can see where where it's going wrong for Hibs. Obviously, Paul Heckingbottom is definitely under pressure. You can definitely see from the fans they're not happy. They're not happy, and obviously he's said it himself. He does need to start getting results, and it's going to be interesting to see how they're going to do in this game. Unfortunately, though, it's going to be very, very close game, because derbies, like I said, they are close, but form goes out the window for derbies. So if you thought Paul Heckingbottom was under pressure, then look to his counterpart, Craig Levein, Hearts. Terrible run of form they're on. They've not won in the last 12 games, and they've only took 28 points from basically since the 28th of October. That is not good enough, and it is relegation form. And the dreaded vote of confidence came from Anne Budge this week as well. So it's going to be very, very interesting game. Both sides are really needing a win. And obviously, like I said, form does go out the window, but for these two, form has not been happening. This is basically 9th against 12. Who would have predicted Hearts and Hibs would be in the bottom 6 at this stage in the season? I don't think many people would have, but Hearts' record is just ridiculously bad, and if it does continue, then they will have to make a decision. But is Anne Budge willing to do that? I'm not sure. So I don't think the Hearts board have it what it takes to basically get rid of Levein, because basically Levein is on the directors of football. So how are you going to get rid of him? That's another thing. So I've been toing and froing between this game. Because of Hearts' struggles recently, I have to go with Hibs. I really do. I just think that Hibs at home, they've been looking okay at home, but it'll be very, very. It's going to be an interesting game, and I think it'll be tight. I think it'll be nervy. One bit of quality that is just needed. One bit of quality will be needed in this game, and I think Hibs will get the win to pile more pressure on Craig Levein and basically make Hearts do more protests, like we saw against Motherwell. There was a big protest outside the Tynecastle after their defeat to Motherwell. So yeah, I'm going to go for a 1-0 win to Hibernian. But I can tell you now, I don't expect a very good game of football. I expect it to be very, very tight, very, very nervy, and it could be that one goal, that one bit of magic that could determine this game. And I do think Hibs have the players. Obviously, Hearts have got a really bad injury list now. Obviously, Connor Washington's now out again for 3 months. So he's out injured. They've got a big injury list, Hearts. So for me, I think Hibs will be a injury-ravaged Hearts side, and I think it'll be a very close game, very nervy game. So I'm going for a 1-0 win to Hibs. So that is it. That is my Game Week 6 predictions. Let me know your predictions in the comments section below. So I'll just quickly go over my predictions. So I've gone for Livingston 2, Aberdeen 1, Motherwell 3, Ross County 1, St Mirren 1, Hamilton 0, St Johnstone 1, Rangers 3, Celtic 2, Kilmarnock 0, and Hibs 1, Hearts 0. So that is it. That is my match week 6 predictions. I will be back tomorrow with a Chelsea against Liverpool preview. That should be interesting indeed. But yeah, we shall see what happens. Unfortunately, I will not be at the Livingston Aberdeen game. I am going to Glasgow for a comedy gig, so that should be interesting. I'm looking forward to that. So good luck to all your teams. Hopefully you have a very good weekend. And if you're a Hibs fan or Hearts fan, then I do wish your teams the best of luck, because both managers, like I've said, are under pressure. So will be very, very interesting indeed. But thank you very much for watching this video, and please hit that subscribe button. That would be much appreciated by me. And I'll be back very, very soon with another video. That will be tomorrow. That will be my Chelsea against Liverpool preview. Another big, big game for Liverpool. But good luck to all the SPFL teams, and I'll be back very, very soon with another video. Take care, everyone. Bye-bye for now.